Hello, my friends, and welcome to a very special episode of the Million Pound Mission podcast, where you're going to get to listen in as I do some coaching with members of our free Mission Possible community. Now, inside this amazing free community, we're doing regular one-on-one hot seat strategy sessions, group chats, and special guest deep dives, and that is only the beginning, my friend. Now head on over to millionpoundmission.com and join the Mission Possible community for free, and download your virtual welcome kit so you can join us on our next video chat or strategy session and take advantage of all of the amazing transformation resources I've put together for you inside that free membership. All right, without further delay, let's dive into this episode. All right, Tracy, welcome to your hot seat. What would you like to focus on here today?
As usual, I hate focusing on weight. There was someday I would like to call you and not talk about weight. Sometimes I've done that, but okay. I'm back in control, but there's like a trap that I never knew existed, is that now that I know how to lose weight, I kind of go up and down. So right now I lose, I've lost some of the weight that I've gained, probably half of it, and I just say to myself, oh, well, you gain weight, you know how to lose it, and then I lose it. And then at a later point, I gain some back and I say, it's okay, you know what to do. Then I kind of check in and I do it, which I don't like being, complacent like that. So it's a weird mind.
Yeah.
Weird state of mind that I have. And because I do know how to do it, when I get down to it, I do. So it's like I'm too comfortable with it or something.
Yeah. Well, I think the first important thing to realize is that this problem is better than like a consistent slide up or trying really hard and not knowing what to do. So we're in a better position. You've leveled up your problem. So that's good. But this makes sense. What we want to do probably is think, all right, when I get my act together and then I start pushing forward again, then I get comfortable, kind of analyze that situation, like what creates that comfort? What does that look like? What do I start doing? How do I start slipping backwards, and see if we can attack that at all? What usually in the situation happens is people kind of go on a sprint, but eventually you get tired of running, you're like, I'm kind of fatigued by all this. And we start to slide back a little bit. So what I would recommend is you want to figure out where you're fatiguing at. Is it with the fitness? Is it with the diet? Is it with all the mental prep? And have a little bit of a buffer. So you probably know about how long you normally go on your good phase. If it's like 2 weeks or a month or 6 weeks or whatever, we say, like, let's say it's 6 weeks. So you go good for 6 weeks and you start to kind of fade back a little bit. What we would want to do is say, all right, we're going to track and say, all right, for 4 weeks, I'm on full go sprint mode. But then I'm going to do a 2-week mini cycle where I go a little bit easier with my fitness, or I change my diet to allow for more calories, or I put a few extra cheat meals in or something like that, where there's just kind of like a recovery phase. And then you go back to a sprint phase and you go back to a recovery phase. And we find that pattern so that there's no slip. It's like a stair step where we take a step up, we maintain. We take a step up, we maintain. But we just can't just keep on working that upward slope, because we fatigue and we slide back. And the backslide is what is kicking our butt. So is this making sense so far?
Yes. So
what this might look like again is, like, normally, let's say when you're sprinting hard, maybe you're doing five workouts a week or something like that. So on your recovery, it's either just easier workouts, or you throttle back to maybe 3 workouts instead of 5. And I know people usually freak out. I'm like, yeah, work out less, it's going to be good. And I'm like, no, I want to work out more. So the mindset I want you to have with your fitness is that I want you hungry to work out. I want you missing your workouts instead of dreading them. So especially if you start brushing up against that edge of, man, I really don't want to freaking get up and work out today, I don't want to do this. That means we're due for a recovery cycle. And I think a 2-week recovery cycle is going to be, it can even just be 1, really, honestly. But we can experiment with that as well also. And then, so that's what the fitness looks like. And then with the nutrition, maybe we just bump up our calories. If you're going to maintain keto, then it would be a calorie thing. If you're not doing keto, then I would bump up carbs a little bit, maybe add in an extra cheat meal. But just have it's not a recovery week will not be a cheat week. It won't be I don't track anything, I don't plan anything week. It's just, we open up the plan a little bit to more options. Does that make sense?
It does. Sense. The only thing I'm worried about is I'm one of those all or nothing. One cheat leads to another cheat. I know you don't cheat, but I have to be like either strict or it's all over.
Yeah. So what I would do then, instead of booking an extra cheat meal, I would just level up your calories a little bit and just, so what I do personally, mine is all driven by my fitness, because if I feel beat up physically, then I would be more likely to make bad nutrition choices. Mm-hmm. So if I'm not sleeping well, if I'm sore all the time, I feel like I'm getting hurt all the time, that leads down to a bad path for me. So I do 3 weeks, a 3-week sprint, a 1-week recovery. What that looks like for me is 3 weeks, I'm hitting it pretty hard with my workouts, my strength training especially. And that 4th week, I won't do any heavy strength training. I do more speed work, and instead of going 5 days, I'll do probably 2 days. And then I actually start to look forward to this. By week 3, I'm like, okay, I'm due for an easier week. So that actually, as we record this, week 3 was this week, and I'm feeling it. Like, I feel like one of my ribs is out. I'm like, okay, I need this recovery week. So I allow myself to have more freedom. I can be creative with my workouts. I'll go in there and do something tomorrow, but it won't be my normal heavy pushing and pulling workout. I'm not going to do heavy squats on Tuesday. I'll probably do some speed work, might just push the sled or whatever, but it's more of a choice. What do I feel like doing? There's no rules. There's no strict whatever. Okay. So if my body feels up to it, I'll do some cardio or whatever, or I can just take that day off. So maybe I wake up tomorrow, my ribs still bother me. I'm like, it's a recovery week. I'm just going to take some extra time. Like we get to go to Austin, Texas this week. So maybe I just put a little extra time prepping, getting ahead on work, that's okay too. So it's nice mentally to have that lower pressure recovery week as well. Yeah. And you can build that right into your 28-day workbook cycle. It's not like you have to create a whole new workbook for that 1 week or anything like that. It's just like, which weeks are sprint, which week is a recovery, and give that a go. And let's see if that'll just give you enough mental relaxation as well, of like, it's okay to maintain this week. It's okay to have more calories. It's okay to sleep a little bit more. It's okay to not work out quite as hard or as much, because this is a recovery week. Okay. So so
is that more for maintenance mode, or is that, you think?
Yeah. I mean,
still lose a little bit more by doing that.
I mean, I think so you think big pattern, 3 weeks hitting it, 1 week recovery is better than 2 months hitting it hard, 2 months backsliding, because that's how we end up with the back and forth. So overall, hell yes, it's going to work. That week, you're not going to like lose 20 pounds in that 1 week, but it's more of giving our body a buffer zone of, all right, now we get to rest, because rest is just as important as the work. So, thinking of it that way, like I wouldn't worry about, stressing out like that week. I've got to, what'll probably happen is during your sprint, you won't have the weigh-in results that you want. And then during the recovery week, you're going to release a whole bunch of water, and you weigh in that weekend, you're going to have like the best weigh-in result ever. So that might actually be the most important weigh-in date, is that Saturday or Sunday at the end of your recovery week. That's going to be a true weight, because you're not beat up, you're not sore, you're not retaining water. If all of our stars of stress and hormones align, then we get a really great, weigh-in. So I like this a lot for you. And maybe just keeping it super simple. We work in 28-day cycles. You do 3 on, 3 sprint, 1 recover. Use that 4th week as a recovery, and just try it out this next cycle. And I think you'll really enjoy it. Or so with me, like we're doing this trip to KetoCon. like, this is a great recovery week. It makes sense because I'm not on a normal workout schedule anyway. So might as well do it this week. But it just happened to time up like that for me magically, but sometimes it doesn't. So you can look at your 28-day cycle and be like, well, this cycle, I've got a vacation planned on week 3. So I'll go 2 sprint week, 1 recover, 1 sprint, and then jump into the next cycle. So that you can do that too. I would say 1 out of every 4 of your 28-day cycle, one out of every 4 weeks, let's do a recovery week. And, just I'll hold you accountable to not being in the gym quite as much, or not, like, do your foundational stuff and cover your bases. But I think, but I would nudge your calories up, maybe a couple hundred calories a day. It's not like doing that's not going to make you put on weight or things like that, but it tells your body we're recovering now. Here's some more supplies to work with. Let's get some extra rest. Let's do some extra mobility. Let's invest our time doing that. And you come out of that week going, I'm kind of fired up to work out. I'm fired up to get back in the gym. I'm fired up to, like, I feel full and replenished. So now I can, go into more of a caloric depletion mode or whatever. So I think you'll like it, and your body will feel good.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. I like that.
And your mind, we can't sprint forever. It's not like eventually you get tired. Eventually you pull a hamstring, So it's more about listening to your body and saying, we don't want to hit that wall. We want to get close to the wall, notice the wall, and then back up. And then the wall moves forward, a few paces. And that way we can sprint again. We brush up against it. Okay, time to bring it back. Yeah. And I think this is a good first step. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. A lot of sense. I feel pressure is already just thinking about that. I mean, it's like
good. Yeah, that's good. That means we're on the right track. Okay, so let's take the idea one step further, because it's lining up pretty well to where this next week, let's practice a recovery week, because we're going to be together at KetoCon, so we can work through this together and bounce ideas back and forth. Like, we might get out there and find out there's a cool gym that we all want to go get a workout in and just do something, or go for a hike or whatever, I mean,
sure.
But it'll be no rules type thing. We'll eat clean. We'll fuel up. And then you start your new cycle, and just look at that next 28 days. If there's a trip or a vacation week or something that would make sense to plug in a recovery week, use that. Otherwise, use week 4 again. And that way you go 3 sprint 1. So that's the way I would set it up. All right.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yes.
Awesome. Look forward to your recovery week. You'll get so much done too, because you're like, oh, I got this extra time. What do I do with this time? So prioritize sleep, do some investment in you instead of maybe going to that class, you take that hour and you go read a book or go for a walk, go fishing, whatever Tracy wants to do.
Oh my gosh, that sounds wonderful.
All right. Well, do you feel good? Like, do you feel like this is a plan that you can implement?
Yes, absolutely. Sounds wonderful.
Excellent, Tracy. Cool. Well, I think we're set. So recovery week next week, and then we'll go 3 on 1 off as a standard. We'll shift it if we need to. I think you're good to go. Recover on, Tracy. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. Now, don't forget to head on over to millionpoundmission.com to pick up your free Mission Possible Community Virtual Welcome Kit. Now, this free resource is going to show you how to get plugged into our community chats, our amazing Facebook group. It'll show you how to sign up for one-on-one hot seat sessions with me, the PhD, and we'll even show you how to start your own local meetup group for that extra support. Now, remember, my friend, this isn't just a podcast. This is a community, and you are an important part of it. So head on over to millionpoundmission.com today and get plugged in.